Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be breaking it into four main things, these being story, characters, gameplay, as well as visuals. Overall, the campaign consists of 17 missions, these ranging from shootouts to shooting massive missiles out of gunships to sneaking around trying to be as quiet as possible. Now, throughout the campaign, you take the role of various different members of Task Force 141. It helps the campaign to feel fresh because you're constantly changing from various different countries to different characters, which in my opinion, again, makes it feel fresh and keeps the gameplay just feel better. Overall, the story is pretty strong for a Call of Duty campaign, and I'm obviously not going to give away any spoilers, but the last mission does build up to be quite tense, and the missions leading up to it are similar in intenseness. But basically what I'm trying to say is the story builds up and up, and the final mission is quite rewarding in terms of what happens and the overall feeling that you get when playing the final mission. I do want to note though the final ending is somewhat predictable to an extent, but saying that, it's still really quite enjoyable and very cinematic as the whole campaign is really. The last thing I want to note on story, because obviously I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not really going too in depth. I'm just talking about my own experience and how the overall story went for me playing it. Now again, without giving away any spoilers, I believe it's after the credits roll there is a cinematic short, which again, I'm not going to say anything for those of you who haven't played it or don't know about the campaign yet. Basically, it leads me, and I think others, to believe that there is going to be extended campaign. So as the game gets longer in its life cycle, because it's supposed to be like a 2-year game this year, it looks likely that they're going to definitely bring out further additions to the campaign. I think it's personally a great thing because it's going to mean players will likely want to go back to the campaign. I know if they bring out an extended story or whatever it is, I'm gonna definitely want to play it because I want to find out what happens, you know, or if it's a whole new mission or set of missions, or almost like a whole new story that kind of ties stuff in from the original 17 missions, I think can be quite good. Now moving on to the most noticeable characters within the campaign, these being obviously Captain Price, Ghost, Soap, Gaz, Vargas, Rodolfo, Commander Philip Graves, who is the Shadow Company owner, Kate Laswell, who is obviously the CIA Station Chief, General Shepard, Nikolai, Farah, Karim, Valeria, Gaza, Diego Salgado, and Nunez. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but considering how some dialogue within the Call of Duty campaigns of past can come across as slightly bizarre or trying too hard to be funny, in my opinion this campaign holds a great balance between serious and meaningful dialogue alongside realistic humour between all the members of Task Force 141. Now, some of my favourite two characters, Soap and Ghost, they have probably some of the best dialogue. I found myself just chuckling quite a bit while playing the campaign.
Keep your blood in, you'll need every drop.
Thanks for the tip.
War crimes.
Makes me want to commit a few war crimes of my own. I will be.
Good man.
Think I'll live that long?
Probably not. You want to be better than me, Johnny?
Got my work cut out then.
That you do. You may get a brag rag for this.
A medal?
Chest candy.
That's all rubbish.
You said you wanted a win. Congratulations, you're a winner.
Hawaiian Beale, your head.
English McTavish.
Sorry, sir. Let me translate. Go fuck yourself.
Much better.
I want to make a special note to one of my favourite characters, who is a new character of this campaign, which is Alejandro Vargas. As you play through the campaign, you get to see the bonds form with him and other members of Task Force 141, which again builds into the narrative of the story really well. Now, again, without any spoilers, I just want to say the villain of the story is again pretty strong, and it does work for the story, and again leading back it is a somewhat rewarding ending. So yeah, overall the characters are really quite strong in my opinion, especially all the dialogue that's given, like I noted before, it just works. Now when it comes to gameplay, it's definitely thrilling, especially some of the stealthy missions for me anyway. They definitely made me feel quite tense playing. But there's a great balance between stealthier missions and go out all guns blazing missions. And a lot of the missions, it's important to note, not all of the missions though, but quite a few missions, you are able to choose whether you want to just go in there shooting all guns blazing, or if you just want to stealth around and try and take out the enemies without alerting anyone. This leads to there being a good amount of replayability for the campaign, which is obviously a great thing, because a lot of Call of Duty campaigns of past haven't always been the best to replay. This is great for the longevity of the campaign, there being able to be different ways you can play different missions, and if they are going to extend the campaign throughout the life cycle of Modern Warfare 2, I think they should definitely bring in quite a few missions that are able to be played in slightly different ways, because again, it leads into great replayability and it allows players to play how they want to play. An important thing to note, I think, is also the inclusion of a backpack, which again, this leads into the fact that you can go in all guns blazing, or you can sneak around if you want, because for some missions you could throwing grenades into a building and try and just explode everyone, or you can throw tear gas in a building, for example, and try and sneakily complete the mission without alerting any other enemies. The mechanics of the backpack as well never felt clunky or awkward. It was quite simple to use, which is again a good thing, because you never want to be going through multiple menus or whatever it is. So again, it worked really well and just helped the campaign flow. Now, the first thing I want to say about visuals is how blown away I was when I opened the game and the first mission. It just looked amazing. I know before the campaign was actually able to be playable, we saw loads of cinematics which looked stunning, and the cinematics do look stunning, but you can always be skeptical because cinematics can somewhat steer quite away from gameplay. But in my opinion, the cinematics really don't go too far from what the true game actually looks like, which is a great thing. Now, what I find amazing, and they've done it just amazingly well, is how in every condition, whether it's harsh sunlight, dark in a small street, pitch black, or harsh rain, whatever condition the weather or the scene is, the game just looks amazing. They've just nailed it, in my opinion. It looks great. The game just looks amazing wherever you are when playing through the missions. It is just a amazing looking game. Graphics definitely don't make a game, but especially for the Modern Warfare campaign, being the nitty gritty of war, the amazing visuals do make the game feel a lot nicer to play, in my opinion. The visuals being so stunning definitely enhances the realism of the campaign, and definitely, from my own experience, makes the game feel more tense, especially on some of the stealthier missions. Another segment I want to speak about, which relates to the visuals of the game, is how full of life and stunning the different parts of the world look. Whether it's a vast city, a never-ending field, or a small intricate street, each area you visit throughout the campaign feels breathtaking, honestly. I was truly blown away by some of the really vast areas where there's huge cliff faces or deep forests, and it just feels so amazing to play through it. It looks amazing. You feel like you're in this massive open world. I've discussed in a previous video that the devs who worked on Warzone have said since beginning and making Warzone, they've had a lot better experience with building these vaster and larger landscapes, and you can definitely tell that within this campaign. Each mission you play does feel like you're in a real world. It feels more full of life, and again, it definitely enhances the campaign a lot. So what is the conclusion? In my opinion, the campaign's definitely 100% worth playing through. All the aspects I've spoken about lead to the campaign being really fun and thrilling at times to play through. There's an intriguing narrative, characters with great dialogue, amazing scenery, and the game just looks beautiful, and again, fun yet thrilling gameplay. So thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate your time. Feel free to like, subscribe. All the best, guys. Goodbye. And yeah.